70 rooms of imported marble and limestone perched right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean in Newport, Rhode Island. This is the Breakers. When it was built in 1895, it was casually referred to as a summer cottage, but inside, Italian craftsmen painted gods into gilded ceilings and laid polished marble floors. The construction budget reached $7 million, well over $200 million in today's money. Behind the iron gates and stone columns is the story of a family that tried to purchase eternity for themselves and ended up paying a price that money could not repair. To understand why this house exists, you have to look at what used to stand here. This is actually the second Breakers. The first was a massive wooden Victorian mansion. On a freezing November night in 1892, it caught fire. The flames spread so fast that the roof collapsed inward with a roar, leaving nothing but ash by morning. The owner, Cornelius Vanderbilt II, watched his home burn. As the grandson of the Commodore and the head of the New York Central Railroad, he controlled the largest transportation network in America. He decided to use that limitless wealth to guarantee he would never watch his home fall apart again. When he hired architects to rebuild, his instructions were absolute. No structural wood. The new skeleton was forged from steel beams and thick masonry. Even the kitchen was pushed into an isolated wing connected by fireproof tunnels. If a material could catch fire, it wasn't allowed. Vanderbilt was attempting the impossible. He was using limestone and steel to build a fortress that could lock out disaster, protect his family from fate, and resist time itself. When the new doors opened in 1895, the house presented an image of effortless elegance, but that illusion was entirely manufactured. It required an invisible army of at least 35 full-time staff running constantly behind the walls. The house was engineered with two separate realities. Upstairs, guests walked beneath 30-foot painted ceilings. Downstairs, the servants navigated a hidden skeleton of steep, narrow, fireproof staircases and cramped, windowless sleeping quarters. We know some of their faces. Head housemaids like Bridget Callahan woke at 5 in the morning to light coal fires in the family bedrooms before the sun came up. They worked 15-hour shifts, scrubbing stone and polishing silver until their joints swelled with arthritis. The protocols enforcing this invisibility were strict. Staff ate plain meals in bare rooms, entirely separated from the lavish feasts they served. A minor mistake, an unexpected illness, or even making eye contact with a guest could result in immediate dismissal with nowhere to go. The perfection of America's greatest mansion didn't pull its strength from the limestone. It extracted it from the constant physical strain of the people trapped beneath the gold. Stone and steel can stop a fire from spreading. They cannot stop the collapse of the human body. Barely a year after moving into his indestructible house, Cornelius Vanderbilt suffered a severe stroke. By 1899, he was dead at the age of 55. Disaster kept breaching the fortress walls. The family lost children who died young, and in 1915, Cornelius's younger brother, Alfred Vanderbilt, drowned when a German submarine torpedoed the RMS Lusitania off the coast of Ireland. Cornelius's widow, Alice, was left to manage the massive estate alone. To maintain appearances in Newport society, she hosted dinners and walked the cliff paths while her massive stone home slowly turned into a quiet, echoing palace of grief. The Vanderbilts spent millions of dollars to lock out disaster, but all the fireproof limestone in the world couldn't protect them from the slow, humiliating unraveling of human frailty. This chart illustrates how the Vanderbilt wealth fractured. In 1916, the government introduced the estate tax. With the top rate climbing to 40%, a massive portion of the fortune was wiped out, shrinking the remaining capital with every passing generation. At the same time, the labor pool the house relied on evaporated. World War I pulled young men overseas, and a rising union movement began demanding 8-hour workdays and basic labor rights. Young immigrants and workers realized they had options. Instead of waking before dawn to empty chamber pots and sleep under an employer's roof, they chose factory jobs. The work was still hard, but when the whistle blew at 5 o'clock, they could walk out the door and have an evening of their own. Look at the estate's finances. The family was spending roughly $60,000 a year just to keep the property running, well over $2 million in today's money, and they only occupied the house for 3 months out of the summer. By the time the Great Depression hit, with unemployment hovering near 25%, the descendants realized the terrible truth. They were completely trapped by a monument they could no longer afford to maintain. The Gilded Age economic model had collapsed entirely. The family was left stranded inside a $7 million fortress that was slowly bleeding them dry. Other great Newport mansions were being sold to developers and demolished. To save the breakers from the wrecking ball, Vanderbilt's daughter made an unthinkable surrender. In 1948, she leased her private fortress to the Preservation Society of Newport County for exactly $1 a year. Even today, keeping the salt air from chewing through the metal and the stone requires a massive, ongoing effort. The basic annual maintenance and conservation budget sits at around $3 million, and that doesn't include massive capital projects like a recent $5 million roof replacement. The only way to pay those bills is at the front gate. The Breakers requires 400,000 tourists to buy tickets and walk through its doors every single year. The public has become the true caretaker of the estate. It is a striking irony. The house that was built as a fortress of private power only survived by throwing open its heavy iron gates and surrendering its exclusivity to the public. Public ownership transformed the house's identity. Modern curation prioritizes the full historical record over a narrow focus on Vanderbilt wealth and architecture. Modern tours now guide visitors down the narrow service corridors. They display the meager wages and the exhausted letters of the domestic staff, right alongside the imported silk and gold ceilings. Cornelius Vanderbilt wanted to freeze time. He tried to pour his anxieties into permanent limestone, convinced he could build a wall high enough to keep out a changing world. He failed. The Breakers stands today as a giant stone classroom, exposing the breathtaking beauty and the staggering human cost of America's Gilded Age.